Hey, welcome back. Hey, we're back in a new location talking about, of course, Star Wars. This is going to be the Force Friday show.
Yes, welcome to our secret underground compound, also known as my apartment.
Yeah, it's a very nice apartment. He takes his Batman love to a new level. He too lives underground. Not with bats, hopefully. But yeah.
You save a lot of money on air conditioning if you live underground.
So, of course, we have a big announcement of where we were last week.
Yeah, our founder, our fearless leader, and all-around good guy, James Waddington, and his wife welcomed a baby girl into this world, and she arrived on the same day as the Obi-Wan announcement, so she brought good news with her. So all this talk about the Obi-Wan movie, you can thank that little baby for it.
She's responsible for it. We're going to give her full credit. Sorry, Lucas, that you're out of the loop now. No longer there. Now, we don't know if she's going to be a Jedi or a Sith, but, we're going to leave that open because it's politically charged times. So, moving on. So, how you been doing, James?
I'm doing pretty well, Sean. Just happy to be back talking Star Wars, but we got a pretty good show today. Looking forward to it. You want to just get right into it?
Sure.
Okay.
Now, you already mentioned the Obi-Wan movie. Now, according to an exclusive story from Hollywood Reporter, take them at their word, last Thursday, and the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie is in its earliest stage of development. Oscar-nominated Stephen Daldry, the man behind The Hours, Billy Elliot, and Extremely Loud, Incredibly Close, is in early talks to direct. So what do you think?
Well, it's about time, and this has been, a movie people have wanted for a long time. I'm curious as to why they didn't go ahead and say that Ewan McGregor is going to be the lead, because I think we all want him to be in this movie.
Everybody wants, as far as I know, Ewan basically is the face of Obi-Wan.
Yes.
He's been in how many movies as Obi-Wan? How many?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's Obi-Wan, but yet they didn't make an announcement that he was this star. It's always speculated. I just have, I hope they don't do a bait and switch, where it's just a very young actor, and Ewan is only in the very end of it.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is Obi-Wan's story. Where does he come from?
Yeah.
What strange podunk hole did he come from?
Mm-hmm. And what do you think of the choice of directors? Because, this guy, Stephen Daldry, not known for anything sci-fi or action-heavy, very dramatic, and I want to say he's a British director. So, a director of British dramas in talks to direct an Obi-Wan movie.
That's a really interesting choice. I've seen The Hours. I've seen Billy Elliot. I have seen some of his other shorter works. He's a serious guy. His tone and his pacing is, I'd say, classic 1950s England. Where it's very mood. It's not the long, awkward silences of a French film. Nothing against France. But he's very much deals with human emotion in great depth. And he does really good at expressing that on film.
Okay.
So, and I'm taking that from The Hours. A really good film if you want character studies. Really good film for you future directors out there. So I'm really interested. This could be maybe a grimmer backstory to Obi-Wan than we've ever thought,
Yeah, part of, James did contribute to our notes this week, obviously. Wanted to make sure we were on task. And he left the question open on who do we think the villain will be in this movie. In a weird way, I don't know. I feel like this might be Obi-Wan going on a spiritual journey around Tatooine, maybe while still keeping an eye on Luke, but I don't know if he'll have a traditional villain or if it'll just be him confronting demons from his past. I mean, with a director like this, I think it's very open-ended to what they can do with it.
And the thing is with him being in quote-unquote in exile, where he doesn't appear in the official histories, blank slate scenario, but part of me wants to see the old Shaolin movie, The 34th Chamber, where the villain maybe is him remembering his training to become a Padawan, to become a Jedi.
Yeah.
Maybe overcoming everything it took to become. Let alone, some current challenge. Something he learned back then affects what he does now, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like something along that angle as opposed to just, him going up against Jabba the Hutt or a bounty hunter or someone. Now, you and James do have a leg up on me because I do not watch the Rebels show. I do know, a recent spoiler alert that Obi-Wan had a rematch against Darth Maul, if I'm not mistaken, on Tatooine. There's been no mention of that, but would you be interested in them incorporating some plot lines from Rebels? Maybe I don't know if it would be a shot-for-shot remake of something, or if they would just incorporate characters from that show here.
My gut instinct is to say no. My gut instinct is to keep Rebels unique for what Rebels were, and let the live action be live action. I know that they're canon. One spills to the other, but merging back and forth, I have kind of a mixed feel on that. But my gut instinct once again is still either A, cover what he was doing in exile, literally, or where did he come from, or both. Those are my three choices.
Okay.
I've been wanting an Obi-Wan movie since I saw him get cut down by Darth Vader in, A New Hope. So
there you go.
This has been a long time coming for me, but then again, they also promised me the Clone Wars. I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah.
So
you were let down by episode 2?
Not really. Once again, it's one of those things when it got trashed when it came out, but with time and distance, you look back at it and go, it was still visually stunning.
Yeah.
It still told us the story.
It was okay.
Did we enjoy our time?
Yeah. Well, as far as the Obi-Wan movie goes, I just hope that there is a scene where he goes into the Mos Eisley cantina, because there is that line in the very first movie where he says, "Watch yourself. This place can be a little rough."
How does he know?
Yeah. So Obi-Wan in a bar fight. Let's bring that on. But what would you also think of them maybe, like you mentioned, having a younger actor as Obi-Wan and then showing Ewan McGregor toward the end? What would you think of them flipping that where it's Ewan McGregor for most of the movie? And I don't know if they could pull this off, but do you think they would age him up closer to Alec Guinness, or would they bring in an older actor to play an older Obi-Wan, maybe like in the latter part of the movie?
From a technique-wise and a technical-wise, it's easier to age someone up.
Yeah.
So with the technology we have, I really see them aging him up.
Okay.
Instead of bringing in another actor. Because he still has to have that, I always make the notation, you have to emote and connect with the audience. And that's what we really wanted to see. So bringing in another actor to play old, no. Okay. I'm just going to say no. But on that, we had this little side note. There is still a discussion of exploring a Boba Fett and a Yoda movie.
Yeah, that was also mentioned in the Hollywood Reporter article. The Boba Fett rumors have been around for a while. This is the first time I've heard them talk about a Yoda movie. I, as of now, don't know how I feel about that. I mean, a Boba Fett movie I think could be fun. Like, it's bounty hunters, you're hunting people, a lot of opportunity for action,
right,
and expanding the universe a little bit. I don't know how many times they should do a movie about a character we've already seen.
I think with Yoda, once again, he was covered in the Clone Wars and Clone Wars. He was covered extensively. Had a lot of character development in the Clone Wars. So wouldn't be really psyched about a Yoda movie.
Yeah.
Plus the fortune cookie talking kind of always is. I was never a Yoda fan. I'm sorry, it always got on my nerves. But I think with the fulfillment of a Boba Fett movie, the Patton Oswalts of the world would finally move out of the basements, even though Patton Oswalt's a wildly successful comedy writer. It's just the dedication these people have to a man who most of his lines was, is amazing. I just will put that out there.
Yeah.
So moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Ron Howard has some more tweets that he's been putting out. Do you want me to take this one, or
Sure.
do you want to?
Okay. Take this one.
Okay. A whole new set of pictures hit the internet last week as Han Solo director Ron Howard gave an update on the Han Solo progress. We see what appears to be a Imperial gunner / engineer helmet, Chewie, and behind the scenes set photos with a quick video of what appears to be a wrecked speeder. Question posed by James is, should Ron Howard keep sending out tweets, or do you think we need some damage control updates? John, what do you think?
My preference would be is, guys, just shut up. Just shut up. There is no more damage control. Ron Howard took care of that earlier, I think. As for Ron Howard releasing tweets, my great fear is always, excuse the terminology, you're going to piss away the magic. You know, let it be something that is new and fresh instead of, oh, I saw this in a tweet. I'm looking forward to this. Yes, that has this, that's kind of like a sizzle reel. Let's keep, to me, let's keep the genie in the bottle until the lights go down and you got the popcorn. That's my feeling on it. What about you?
I'm okay with it as long as it doesn't give away any plot points. I mean, I like how a lot of the photos are formatted of Ron Howard at the camera, and like whatever footage you see is on the very small screen, which is like his director viewpoint, and you get to see the people behind the camera, boom mic people setting up the shot, and just all the work that goes into the movie. And then, like I say, just a little bit of stuff is going to be featured in the film. So, that kind of behind-the-scenes stuff, I always like seeing things from that perspective. I don't think there's anything in the photos that's given too much away. Although, we were talking before the show that these Imperial engineers, I don't know, at first glance, I thought that they were tied to the Death Star. And I don't see the point of including that again.
Right.
But you say there is precedent for this type of uniform to be seen elsewhere.
Yeah, and I'm going by the really old comic books, that came out, right after A New Hope, as the official term is now. Any artilleryman or gunner had that helmet and uniform. They reused that in a lot of the artwork and a lot of the other side projects. So I'm just thinking the uniform and helmet design was probably already in place in the continuity aspect, and that's the uniform you wear as a gunner. It's like mortarmen are issued earplugs in a certain uniform that goes along with the mortar. So I think it's not necessarily indicative of the Death Star. I think they've had these weapon platforms for a very long time, such as Star Destroyers, Imperial bases. These are naval guns. I see them as cannoneers.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's just more proof that, like we saw with the early concept work back when Lord and Miller were still the directors, and there's going to be a lot of Imperial stuff featured in this Han Solo movie. So it makes me wonder, what are they doing there? Are they trying to steal something or infiltrate or pull off a robbery? So I don't know. It's curious.
Yeah, was Han Solo part of the Empire? It was also still the thread's still out there.
I hadn't thought of that.
That come on, a lot of people join the military not necessarily out of patriotism, but to get out of a steel mill town and live a dream, right?
There you go.
He had to learn to fly somewhere.
Yeah.
And he's been on the run. Was he always a criminal, or was he someone who once was straight and narrow?
Yeah.
So I always thought, well, he knows how to navigate. He knows how to fly. Is that as average as learning to drive a car, or did he go to some kind of flight school?
Or would he go to the Imperial Academy and then drop out at some point?
Right.
Yeah.
Once you get your license, your pilot's license, you don't take a commission. Or he went AWOL. Who knows?
Yeah.
So I've always been curious about that, because the Imperial Navy, or the Republic Navy even at that point, was pretty massive. I mean, not military-wise, but just the sheer number of ships it would take to keep an intergalactic world connected. If you really think about all the airplanes, trains, cars, and automobiles that keep...
And speeders.
And speeders that keep a modern society going, it's going to be tenfold and in larger scale for galactic size. So, I don't know, I just hate to see him as a truck driver.
Yeah. I don't know, it would be cool if we get the first trailer and there's a shot of a young Han Solo in an Imperial uniform or something. That'll like blow a lot of people's minds.
Not just blow people's minds, it'd be like the scene from Indiana Jones. People's faces would melt. He was one of them! That's how he knows how they operate.
Yeah.
Because remember, he always knows how they do things. It's just like Finn.
Right.
He has an insight. Why? I work sanitation. Well, there you go.
Oh man. See, now you're really starting to get me excited again for the movie if they pulled off something like that. That'd be pretty heavy.
I would hope for like a face melting moment like that, just because it makes you redefine the king, as I've always referred to him as the king of cool. To think that you were in the Navy, you wore a uniform? Really?
Yeah.
What did it take to get you into the uniform?
Yeah.
Did they have dirt on you? Were they blackmailing you?
Looking all professional.
Yeah.
Clean shaven and all pressed and ironed and ready to go. Yeah.
And then part of that comes from my experience with the veterans at the art school. You know, you look at them now, they're like got these giant mountain men, beards, 3-color hair, piercings, tats everywhere. And then you see, you are an officer in the Navy? Oh yeah, Lieutenant Commander.
Oh yeah. That'll happen. Like I've had friends who've gotten out of the service, and the first thing they want to do is grow a massive beard and not have some drill sergeant or anyone trying to constantly tell them to shave or clean up. Yeah, there we go. So who knows what's in store for the Han Solo movie? But I'm starting to get excited for this movie.
Let's hope for the face melt. Let's hope for the face melt.
Get your face all melted.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Back to the Nazi days.
Yeah. There we go.
All right, so
moving on to more Han Solo news. A bit of bad news, unfortunately, or kind of like unfortunate news. Michael Kenneth Williams, okay, let me start over. According to Deadline, Michael Kenneth Williams is one unfortunate casualty of the Han Solo movie reshoots. Williams, best known for his work on The Wire and Boardwalk Empire, is currently shooting the spy drama The Red Sea Diving Resort in South Africa, and his filming commitments prevent him from making reshoots under director Ron Howard. Williams was relatively cool about it, said, quote, "I feel great about what I created with the directors that I worked with. It is what it is." He went on to say that reshoots would have made his character match the new direction of the movie, and that he was playing a kick-ass character who was half human and half animal. However, he's still on good terms with the Star Wars family, and quote, "The experience left a very good taste in my mouth. They're a great group of people," referring to the Lucas family. But again, he was unable to depart from his current shooting schedule to go back and finish scenes with his character. Sean, are you familiar with Michael Kenneth Williams, and what do you think about him being left out of the Han Solo movie?
You know, it's kind of that casualty thing that I mentioned. And you mentioned hopefully maybe this will be on an extended cut. Some of the scenes that did get cut. He's a good actor, very good at what he does. I'm just kind of curious where it's like, yeah, Ron, yeah, I'd like to work with you, but I can't.
Yeah.
Just can't. Just stop calling me, man. Just stop calling me. You know, I'm kind of really curious because we've seen aliens, but the concept of having a half human, half animal, and he didn't say alien, he said half human,
right,
half animal. You know, he's in a sci-fi movie. He would have said alien if it was an alien. So I'm really intrigued. Was this some biohacked creature?
Yeah, like my first thought was, splicing human and animal DNA. I mean, was he an experiment or something?
They have clones.
Yeah.
They have clones, right? They have clone troopers, so wouldn't that be a logical progression? Something of that nature? If anything, it'd be like Boba Fett's worst nightmare. He's a better bounty hunter, you know?
Yeah.
Can, literally smell them, go find them. But,
he'd be a guy with human intelligence but animal-like reflexes. Yeah, you're right. He would give Boba Fett a scare.
Yeah. It'd just be very intriguing. Once again, they have cloning technology. They have hyperdrive technology. Why wouldn't they? If anything, it adds a whole new element to things. Sorry, guys.
I forgot to silence my phone too. I better make sure I do that. There you go. But yeah, like I say, I would hope that they have behind the scenes extras on the DVD Blu-ray, and maybe they show a hint of his character. And he was very cool about the whole thing, and did talk about how, again, he's on good terms, and that he'd be open to coming back sometime. Maybe he's a character they could save for a later film. I don't know, maybe in a Boba Fett movie or a Yoda movie. I don't know.
It'd be very intriguing. Once again, what will survive on the cutting room floor, and knowing this era of trying to make it important to buy the DVDs, all the extras, the commentary, and all that. I think he will reappear.
Yeah. Well, like in general, are you a special features guy? Because I always got to have the 2-disc edition of a DVD Blu-ray. I want that extra content. I want to know all the info I can get.
I used to be really bad about it, but then I came to a conclusion after going through a Peter Jackson burnout kind of thing with the Lord of the Rings was long enough as it is, let alone extended cut. yeah, after that, I was like, no, I'll just want to watch the theatrical release.
You can never marathon through all three of them, the extended cuts?
I did. I actually went to the Numb Bum Thon with the
Good title.
with the local film critic, Big Red. Can't remember his name.
Harry Knowles?
Yeah, I've actually done that, and it's like I'll never do it again.
Yeah.
I'm too antsy.
You know, take a break?
I have to take a break, so
Okay.
clap us.
We will take a short break and be right back. Okay, we are back and moving on from the last topic. This is just a minor thing. I think our last Han Solo item of the day. On Monday, Reddit user BioHexaCrypt posted a magazine snapshot of a Lego toy ad, supposedly for the Han Solo movie, only with the film's title, which was Han Solo, a Star Wars movie. So take it for what it is. Maybe this will be the title, and they're definitely sticking with, or they could be sticking with the Star Wars story title, just like they did with Rogue One. John, any thoughts on that?
I think they're just going to keep. I honestly think usually when these Lego leaks come out, they tend to be accurate. Although it's from Reddit. Nothing against Reddit users, but you guys are like kind of like the collection of everything in the universe that a lot of people put out there as truth to be fake. But if it's a legit photo of a Lego toy, Lego usually is as accurate. You know, it's like that's how I knew Legolas was going to be in The Hobbit. You know, that came out long before I ever saw The Hobbit. You know, before I think The Hobbit was even in theaters. So I'm gonna say that going with Lego precedent, as weird as that sounds, I'm gonna say I think that's going to be the name. What do you think?
I think that sounds about right. You had a good point a few weeks ago on the show where you said these toy contracts are drawn up months ahead of time and they have a very strict schedule that they are going by, you know, reshoots or no reshoots. So I would like to believe it's true, if only because it's not a very complicated title. I always like it when people just are upfront and have a short, concise name. Just Han Solo, a Star Wars story, or, you know, being a Batman fan, like you have Batman, Mask of the Phantasm. There you go. No 5 or 6 word epic titles.
The
or
Dark
something.
Knight Rises, Batman Begins.
Yeah.
Also the fact that it's simple, it's to the point, you know what you're there for.
Yeah. So
I don't see a problem.
I like it. Simplicity. That's all well and good. All right. And moving on to a topic that before the show you had a pretty heavy opinion on. We have a look at some new first order vehicles, or at least a better look at one in particular. The Wednesday episode of the Star Wars show on YouTube gave us our best look yet at 2 of the First Order's biggest weapons appearing in The Last Jedi. First up is the AT-M6, which stands for All-Terrain Mega Caliber 6, and nicknamed the Gorilla Walker. This is the new and improved AT-AT, complete with a bigger cannon and more maneuverable legs. What do you think of this?
Now, I'm actually looking at the photos here of the object. Very nice photos. This is a massively armed beast. I don't know if they fixed the armor problem, because remember, a redneck with a sword was also taking them out, and also, you know, speeders were taking them out. This thing is loaded with what looks to be twice, if not 3 times, the armament. Very impressive. I'm curious about the ape-like function of the hand. I hope there's some big payoff for it to go to that extra design. You know, I want to see something really fabulous with this thing.
Yeah, like I could also picture or almost picture, like, if you come to a plateau, that the arm could arc upward, latch on, and it can climb up maybe.
It has an appearance that this is something that can actually bracklinate, which would be really impressive if you think about, here is a 600-ton vehicle suddenly scaling up a cliff face. How do you defend against that? But once again, redneck with a sword took one out, so we got to keep that in mind. So
I also like that it has a little more weaponry, because I guess, you know, the traditional AT-AT is already intimidating enough. Lord knows in Rogue One they made it look super intimidating, you know, coming through the trees just like the T-Rex in Jurassic Park or something, or just marching through the jungle able to stomp on you at any moment. but it only had 2 little lasers on the front side of it. This one's got an entire cannon on there.
Yeah,
so
it's
to me,
like where its shoulder blades would be. It's got this massive cannon,
Yeah.
and it's got chin cannons, cheek cannons.
Yeah.
It probably has a butt cannon. I mean, I put a tail gun on it too, because they were always being attacked from behind.
Uh-huh.
So maybe all these redesigns pay off. I mean, it on its just face value, it looks really intimidating with just bristling with guns.
Yeah.
I mean, this really does not look like something I would feel confident going up against any, even with a good X-wing or something. It's just nothing but guns. How do you approach it? I think they're going with the B-17 argument. No matter how you face it, you're going to get at least one gun coming at you. That's what it looks like. It's I'm looking forward for the redesign to really pay off. Once again, I want to see something really cool with this.
Yeah.
Just don't want to see it walk slowly in the horizon. I want to see it do something.
Yeah, and we only have the one trailer so far, and they're just seen from a distance. They'll be really heavy if these walk extra quickly. Like, imagine the speed of the smaller one, like we saw.
Scouts.
Yeah, the Scout, like we saw in Return of the Jedi. It'd be crazy if these things were racing at you as opposed to a slow, methodical crawl.
Yeah, the thing is, you really got that feeling from like when Empire, you could see them for so far away, and you could target artillery on them. Now, that'd be terrifying, something that is nimble and is too fast for your guns to really home in on, or at least in a traditional sense. And like I said, I hope the arm redesign pays off, because they're trying to imply anyway from the design that this is going to take armored combat in a different direction than just being 2D.
Yeah.
This looks like this is going to be something you're going to have to plan for a 3D attack, like something coming up from above, below.
Right. It's like like you put it that way, I can almost see it being the slow tanks from World War I. Being very heavily armored, only lightly gunned, eventually being replaced in World War II by faster armored tanks with even bigger guns. So these might be more in tune for like a blitzkrieg combat, as opposed to the slow, methodical trench-like combat that you kind of saw when Empire Strikes Back.
Right. I think that is what they're going for. I mean, if you look at the generation from like World War One, Enfields to of course World War II German Panzers, I would say, then M1 Abrams in the first Gulf War. The fact that you had a tank that got up to 60 miles an hour. And the theory was speed is your armor. That's the thing. If they can't get guns on you, they can't hit you. You don't need all that extra armor. So, this thing looks as heavily as armored as ever. Like I said, I hope the redesign pays off. It looks cool. I'd hate to have something look really cool and just go gorillas in the mist, gorillas in the mist. Really make it pay off for all the cool things that you get to see. And it's like, it's one of the rules of cinema, as you guys are probably fans of cinema. When you put a gun on the table, the rule says that gun's going to be used sometime in the play, right?
Yeah.
So they're doing the same thing by showing this, If it doesn't get used in a cool manner, then it's just going to be an expectation crush.
And like after you mentioned earlier that this thing should have a butt gun as well, it's called the Gorilla, and already I'm picturing a gorilla and some kind of like naked butt side of it with a different kind of weapon on there. So why did you put that image in my head? Naked gorilla butt gun. That's happening.
Just wait till we talk about the Dreadnought.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
On to the Dreadnought.
Segueing into the next topic. Yeah, we also have a look at the First Order Dreadnought, a massive new Star Destroyer with an equally massive cannon, which looks like it could weigh laced to any planet's surface the First Order sees fit to take on. I'm going to go ahead and say I like this design. It's very simple. It looks like a Star Destroyer, only flatter, more. I'm trying to think of the better word. Kind of like almost scaled back. And I like that it has an actual cannon on there because, again, one weakness that the older trilogy has is that I never really bought into the laser weapons being able to hover over a planet and just fire down at the planet and lay siege to it. You never really got a good look of the laser cannons on the traditional Star Destroyer. This thing, you got a big gun. You can just like siege the heck out of any planet's surface, just fire the big artillery, bring out the big guns. This looks very intimidating to me. Sean, what do you think?
It looks very intimidating. Also, you left off the fact on the very chin, or the very nose of it, that looks to be a gun battery as well.
Hey, yeah.
So you know you have that aspect there. That could even be something that fires torpedoes, because we know torpedoes exist in the extended universe.
That'd be great for the space battles
Right.
out there.
Because
Yep.
in the old Republic and Imperial navies, they shot almost like sail ships. You know, most of their guns were kind of angled from the side. And even in the Clone Wars, a lot of the great battles would they'd come at each other, but they were really kind of angling away to bring their majority of their guns to bear. But the issue was, once again, looking at the Dreadnought, is that.
I think I know where he's going with this.
Yeah, trying to keep it PG. There's a thing where you could say Carl Jung or even Sigmund Freud would go, and tell me, why do you feel the need to compensate?
Does the First Order have father issues?
Yeah, and phallic issues, just to keep it PG. It looks, but the design of it, other than it looking like those balls you see on the back of rednecks pickups hanging down, which I can't look at this thing without thinking that, but it's just the issue that it's a gun that seems to be pretty much for planet destroying. Once again, I don't know what it is with the First Order. It wasn't, sure, the Death Star, destroy a planet. First Order, let's just destroy a solar system. It's like, as far as I know, there are a limited number of livable planets, guys. Is your goal to wipe out everything but one livable planet that you can control? Because all your weapons, once again, seem to be waylaced to a city, waylaced to a moon. Big deal. Take out a planet. I did that last week. No, we're just gonna cut them in half now. That's what this gun looks like. It's like they're just gonna split it in half and let everyone die.
Yeah. I don't know, that's one thing that kind of bugged me about some of the planets like Coruscant. There aren't any trees on that planet. How do they get their oxygen? So it makes me wonder if they have some future technology that just negates nature.
They have to. I mean, it's a city that's completely covered with habitation, human habitation. So I've wondered that too.
Yeah.
It was like supposedly the world's most densely populated planet. Really, you don't even have water.
Yeah.
Everything has to be shipped in, and
that would be the oceans or anything. Yeah.
That has to be an atmosphere as well.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they can. What's the term I'm thinking of? I should know this. Maybe they have really good terraforming technology, and they can just, make a planet inhabitable within several months or something, and it's not that vital. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yet they all have all these desert planets.
Right.
You guys keep returning to.
Yeah.
So if they had terraforming, why was there Tatooine?
Yeah. But you're bringing up a good point, although I don't think the First Order respects ecosystems all that much. They just want the power and they want the dominance.
Yeah, I think they're pretty straightforward about what they want.
And we were just on like old military terms. I hope that in this movie, in The Last Jedi, it's still called a dreadnought. I would love for that term to be carried over into a galaxy far, far away, because like you read on World War I history, I've actually been to the Imperial War Museum in Britain, and they have just in the front of it the cannon from a dreadnought. And my God, that cannon is intimidating. I would hate to see that ship coming at me.
Well, that's also, if they do keep the name, they're staying with the theme of what the Dreadnought was supposed to convey. It was not just an average battleship. It was supposed to convey, this is what they call soft power. And it may sound weird. Soft power, you just park it in the guy's harbor. He didn't fire a shot, but he knows what is there. It's just like the intimidation value there. The thing is, the designs that I'm seeing with the Dreadnought anyway, and being completely serious, is the fact this is an intimidation device. A round planet size space station, it's round. This obviously is meant for one thing. It's like a sword. A bow can put food on your table, a spear can put food on your table, a knife is a tool, right? The moment we went to swords, they're only designed for one thing. They look flashy. Yes, you're going to argue with me. Well, it's for exercise. Sword is designed for one thing, and that's to kill people. That a spear, you once again put food on your table. Sure, you can kill people, but it's originally for putting food on your table. Sword was designed to kill people. That's what this dreadnought is for. It has the same imagery of it is stripped down, it's literally to the point, and they're burying all its guns. Just can you imagine in our day and age, and then multiply it for their day and age, the video feed of seeing that just hanging in the air, just over a city.
Yeah. I feel like from the surface, you could probably see this like in the sky, in space maybe, if it was firing at you.
Right. When I was a kid, there was Skylab. When Skylab broke up and fell back to Earth, you could see it with the naked eye. So, yeah, you're going to see these things. When you look up the scale, do yourself a favor, look up the scale of one of these compared to a cruise ship. They're like 5 times bigger than the largest cruise ship we have.
Yeah.
So, think of that. You know, that's actually large enough that would hang in the air and you could see it just slowly moving across the sky. Yeah, this is an intimidation weapon that also fits in with the modus operandi of the First Order.
There you go.
Go with terror.
Well, I hope they unveil some ships that the Resistance will have in the next movie to match these. They just always seem to have smaller frigates, nothing of this scale.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting to see a surprise. Now, the Hammerhead cruisers from Rogue One, they were a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
You know, yes! It makes me think that they will keep the Dreadnought name. After all, they were ramming people. How old school is that? You know, that's back to the Mycenae culture. We're going to build ships just to hit other ships. Yes!
Yes.
But no, it looks cool. I would love to see some kind of surprise ship other than, cargo ships. The majority of the rebellion was like medical freighters, and cargo ships.
Yeah.
Now, one of the most iconic and fabulous ships in the galaxy, of course, the Millennium Falcon, is a cargo ship.
That's true. Smuggling ship. Yeah.
It's light cargo.
Yeah.
But so is the Ghost from Rebels. You know, it's technically a cargo ship.
Gotta watch that show.
Yeah. You would really enjoy it. So.
All right. Well, ending on a light note, moving on from military technology to porgs. We have mentioned porgs before.
That where's a G? Porgs.
Porg. I'm very happy about our show. Last time at Dragon's Lair, we covered all the ways you can potentially eat a porg.
Yes. And what really happens to that porg that hangs out with Chewie?
Yeah. But no, I meant to show you this before the show. Maybe I can show it to you afterward. There is a funny video just on the Star Wars YouTube page, I believe, of porgs stealing poor BB-8's head and just running around across the camera with BB-8's head as it's beeping and blooping at him, and then BB-8's body chases after him, comes back, he has his head, and then he turns around, shrieks, runs, and then you have dozens of porgs coming after him, and and making their cute squeals and everything, and they got little wings too that they're flapping, but still not flying, but running after BB-8. It's adorable, but also kind of terrifying at the same time if you think about it.
Yeah, it is, because I can't, when I heard about the porgs and looked at them, there was this bad era of TV, radio communications about the Bud Light penguin. See, you hadn't heard of it?
Vaguely remember it.
Yeah, but it would sing like Frank Sinatra songs and and then the next thing you know, they were doing like talking to some roughed up person. I don't know what happened. This penguin just came in through the door and drank all our beer. You know, there's always some poor redneck out in the middle of nowhere. This is almost as bad as when the aliens took me. You know, comments like that. And that was the first thing that leapt into my mind when I saw the porgs.
Yeah.
And now it's playing out. You know.
Oh man.
No, it's just like what's those furry, ugly creatures on Bespin where they were like playing catch with C-3PO's head.
Yeah, the guys who worked in like the junkyard or like the trash compactor area. Don't know what they're called. I have an Empire Strikes Back book here. Maybe I can look it up.
But you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There seems to be a theme. I'm hoping this isn't in the movie, but I do think it would be like a really fun, just sizzler little thing to be out there. Nothing against it. It sounds hilarious. It's just, I don't know. I'm wanting that movie, wanting the theme. I don't want to laugh too much. I want things figured out. I want things to go forward.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we shall see. Like I say, we're hoping for a lot of action, hoping all this equipment looks good on the big screen, hoping for a good story. I think that's going to do it for us today. We had a couple more topics that James had sent to us, but I think we're going to save him for when he is back and ready to record again, because one does involve more book announcements coming up, and we all know how much Jamie loves his books. Jamie did want me to give a shout out to any followers we might have on the Texas coast or the Gulf of Mexico area. Make sure that you're prepped and ready and safe with Hurricane Harvey on its way right now. I don't know if you've been able to hear, we are getting some light rain outside in Austin, Texas today, and it's going to be raining all weekend. If you come to an intersection that has water, turn around, don't drown. Turn around, don't drown. Play it safe. And everyone stay safe and sound out there. Sean, anything else?
Yes, we need all the viewers we can. We can't afford to lose any of you. Play it safe, guys. Remember, the life you save, it's old saying, life you save may be your own, but there's always somebody waiting for you somewhere. Just always remember, don't let them down. Play it safe. Get home safe and sound. Don't be a hero. Don't be stupid. Just play it safe. So that's all I got.
All right. And as always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. And we will catch you all next week. Thank you for joining us today. I have been James Armstrong.
I'm Sean Sharp.
Y'all have a good night.
Good night, guys. Be safe.